now. So, how you doing, Paul?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing pretty good. So
Oh,
I got my friend Paul here, and his book literally just came out. Okay, and this book is actually, first of all, the actual cover is amazing. So, and the other thing I'm going to tell you, everyone, this is a must read. It actually made me think a little differently. I read it really quick, and I have to read it again because I try to read things now 7 times before I start to comment on them. But because I know Paul, I said, let's bring him on. Everyone really needs to buy this book, seriously. So first off, can you just tell us about the cover of the book?
yeah, sure. I really didn't have a great idea for the cover. I threw some ideas out to the cover designer, and I've really gotten excited about the cover. You can see the wheel spinning, the smoke coming out there, and the cover designer designed in a few extra special features. It's hard to see on this, but he embedded some images in the smoke, and I just think it's really cool and really reflects that idea of having of acceleration in your life.
And you know what's crazy? So I was reading the book. I'm just going to tell you something. I read the book. I wanted to look, I just lost my page. So just remember 46. I'm page 46. So as I was reading the book, first of all, it's autographed to me, right? So I try not to open it all the way because I don't want to ruin it. But when you're reading the book, right? And you see this little car in here, right? And as I'm reading it, I'm noticing that the car is moving as it's going. And I'm like, oh my God, the way he did this, it was like a cartoon. It was the coolest thing ever. It was just crazy. So then I was just like, as I'm starting to read it, I'm like, wow, I got to read it. I want to see where it's going. This book, I almost feel like maybe you are a prophet being sent from God. Like, and I'm not joking. I know you gave me information about the book, but I read the book, and to me, I feel like I want to be a better person because of this book. So on page 46, I just have to do this. So you said God's gift are often the challenges meant to prepare us. The things what we typically complain about. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes. So the example I go back to is King David, right? He was having a bad day in most people's definition when a lion or a bear would come and try to take the sheep away. But really that was training for the story that everyone knows, when David was able to defeat Goliath. He spent countless hours being bored, no doubt, just practicing with his slingshot, killings from shrubbery and stuff like that. And then eventually the big day comes and there's a lion and he has to go take care of the lion. And most of us would say, oh man, it was a brutal day at the office. I had to kill a lion that was attacking my sheep. But, David just kind of took care of it, and he took care of the lion. And that was training for the next big thing. The thing that he's really known for throughout history. We always talk about David versus Goliath. And, well, frankly, David brought a gun to a knife fight effectively, because he had the slingshot. He was able to take out Goliath without even getting close to him. And so he had that preparation, and he had that experience early on. And it wasn't the pinnacle of his career. He was continuing to grow and develop, and he was faithful in the little things, the little things of shepherding and taking care of the sheep, making sure that they all survived as he was out there. And then going forward, he was continuing to be prepared. He was serving in the king's court. He was taking care of Goliath, leading the armies, and going into battle. And so, I think that's a great biblical example. I also put in the book some more relevant recent examples. If you noticed, the Terminator was in there a little bit, and he wasn't just hatched as the governor and ready to be the governor of California. He went through a lot of things before he got to that point, and if you will, a peak of his career. And so he had all these experiences that prepared him for being able to be the leader of a very populous state.
Wow. I know. And I'm trying to we have people on here. If anyone has a question, just let me know. It's like, I know that you're like really, you're really smart, obviously. But for people who aren't smart and they want to get smart, what would you tell them? Because obviously you give people hope, you give people courage, you give people, you put the time into anything and you could be a Michael Jordan. You just don't quit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if somebody's watching, because we have people on here, Reggie says, hey, we got Joy Giovanni, Eric, if somebody, say a kid, maybe 15, 16 years old, came up to you and they want to quit, what would you say to them? Being the fact that you are would you say, hey, read my book, or would you sit down and read it with them?
I'd want to read it with them. I'd want to show them some of the ideas that I had for it with them. I put together this model based on our last conversation. And as we talked last time, the thing that really came out for me was really trying to put something on paper that would just give them a quick idea of what the book's about, and that even though there are challenges in front of them, that there's enough opportunity for them. And so the kind of first thing is that there are plenty of people for the success of others. I mean, yeah, we have all these problems in terms of people not liking someone because of their race or their gender or whatever. But, there are plenty of people that are for you. And so just because there are some people that are against you doesn't mean that it's not possible to succeed. And that's really kind of the first thing in my mind is it's possible, right? There's opportunity out there. And, maybe not everyone's for you, but the challenges that you face and the potential that you have and that growth that you can have is something that's achievable for everyone. And there's absolutely a genetic component to things like being an NBA star or horse jockey. And those are great examples at opposite extremes of weight and height and all of that, right? And you have to be really small to be a successful jockey, because you don't want a bunch of weight on the horse. I mean, Charles Barkley's not going to be a great horse jockey, but he'll be a great basketball player. And so, yes, there's absolutely that component, but everything else doesn't come for free. I mean, just because you're big doesn't mean you're going to be an NBA star. I know a handful of pretty tall people, and they're not capable of being NBA stars. One guy that I've met, he played basketball in Europe. He was pretty good as a basketball player, good enough to be in the European League, but not great enough to be in the NBA. And yeah, there's some differences there, but you have to put in so much work. And to be that top notch, they say, oh, that's like 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. And that's not grinding away in your driveway, sinking the same 4 or 5 or 6 shots over and over. That's doing things that are harder and harder and harder as you go along, facing the big competitors, facing the challenges, and taking the shots that maybe aren't quite so easy to take. And so it doesn't come for free. There's lots of effort. You may say, oh, they're a natural. Well, maybe there's that spark at the beginning, but then they've put in so much more effort to be able to really be great. And that's, I haven't had a chance to watch the new special on Jordan that's been on Netflix and ESPN and stuff, but as people have watched it and talked about it, you hear he put in the hours, right? I mean, he didn't just show up and was automatically great. It wasn't just some zap like I talk about. It wasn't just some, little divine spark or luck or what have you. It was a lot of work. And so he started with maybe a little bit of a physical gift, but then there were thousands and thousands of hours of practice. And one of the books on my bookshelf was from his personal trainer, right? And the guy that helped Jordan be even better. And he talks about it's not an easy job to coach someone like Jordan. Yeah, you've got someone that's pretty good, but what can you tell the guy to make him any better, right? How can you provide value to someone who is really at the top of his game, and how can you keep him there? How can you make him that one notch better? And it's tough.
So I've met Michael Jordan. I'm a big basketball fan, huge basketball fan. Basketball is my favorite sport. So I know for a fact when his friends asked him to go out and party when he was in high school, he didn't. He stayed there and practiced shooting. And and the thing is, if we practice doing a good deed every day for the next 30 days, on the 31st day, we're going to do it easy. We're going to do it without even, without even thinking about it. It's going to come natural.
Right.
That's why Pete Vargas did his event for how many days? It's all about repetition. You read the Bible, you're going to remember the Bible the more times you read it. Like, I have to read this book 7 times before I can really critique it. So right now, I mean, it was very spiritual for me the first time. Now, the second time I read it, it may not, it may become even more spiritual. Who knows? Maybe I won't even use cuss words. I don't know, because I felt like, I was like, wow, this guy's like really, really, he's whole with God, man. And I'm just like, and I have a relationship with God. Like, I talk to him every day. Anyone will tell you I pray constantly to God. I'm always thanking him for everything he's given me, and I'm so grateful. And this book is really, I mean, like you said it, abundance is available. You just have to practice. You have to go out and get it. You could be, and you said you could become worthy of abundance. Like, talk a little bit about that. Like, go ahead. Just, we're live on.
So I think there's 2 pieces of it. One is a definiteness of purpose, right? Having that specific thing that you want to do. And so many people get all uptight about, well, I need to have this purpose that's spiritual, or that makes an impact in people's lives, or does something, put a dent in the universe, whatever, however you want to look at it, and say, well, maybe my purpose isn't good enough. Well, if your purpose today is to help make sure my lawn is trimmed, or to make sure I'm well caffeinated, that's okay, right? You may decide that you want to grow into some other purpose that feels bigger to you, but don't get wrapped up in, well, my purpose should be something huge, and it feels like it's tiny. Well, be faithful in the tiny, do like David did, be faithful as a shepherd, take care of the predators, and then work your way up to king, or queen, or if that's where you're headed. But just, do the things and feel the purpose of what you're doing. And another one of the books here, Grit, Angela Duckworth talks about how people don't necessarily understand their purpose when they get out of high school or things like that. And well, I feel passionate about basketball. Well, maybe you're an okay basketball player, maybe you're the greatest, but most of us aren't. And but those things like sports and music are easy to measure, easy to see, and that initial improvement is pretty easy to handle early on. But to get really good, to get really great, takes a lot of effort. And there's a lot of other needs in the world. And Duckworth talks a little bit about someone who just got into the house cleaning business, and eventually they figured out, well, my purpose is to be in the house cleaning business. It's not glamorous. It's not a rock star gig. It's not saving the whales, or doing something that a lot of people say, oh yeah, that's a great purpose. But it's important, and it helps people. And so deciding on that definite purpose, and even if it's just a definite purpose for today, making that decision and start operating in that way will really help people to focus on what they want to do, and to sort out the things that are good but maybe not useful from what it really is useful and what they should be spending their time and energy on. And then they move from that to deliberate practice. And that's kind of what we talked about a little bit earlier, where Jordan and others are really good at sports. They're not just grinding away at one skill. They're having someone challenge them and make them do things that are a little bit harder than what they're really good at. And so it's that continual push and that continual drive to do something better. I saw a great Lindsey Sterling video, and I love her music because it's most of it's instrumental. I can just use it to block out all the racket and everything else and just focus on what I'm working on. And she had an Instagram live where she talked about how, and she showed herself playing some of the music that she really wasn't good at yet, and showing people, well, man, I can kind of really suck at some of these things early on because I haven't practiced it and figured out how to do it. And so over time, she's challenged herself to become really good at playing violin and playing music that really excites people and they really enjoy, and putting on a great show at that too. So
that's awesome. When I was growing up, I know I thought my purpose was to be a rock star, but then maybe like 6 months out of high school, I said, you know what, I don't even want to do that. I just, after being around people where you see the industry in the music industry and you're just like, oh my God, this is crazy. And, I write music, I sing, I play drums, bass, guitar, keyboards and stuff. But you ask me what, like, when you're talking about a purpose, back then my purpose was all about music, and now it's all about doing what I have to do in order to buy. My goal is to buy abandoned buildings, and I want to put my veterans in it, and I want to put the homeless people in it, and I want to create jobs. So right now my purpose has changed. Like, what would you say, like, is that normal?
yeah, I think it's totally normal. And as we talked about with David or Schwarzenegger or whoever, you start at one purpose, winning Mr. Universe, for example, or being a rock star, and then you move to something that's different, that feels like you're helping more people, or you're doing something that's more challenging than the last thing, or even just following that interest of yours. And so it's totally normal, but you can't do all that for free, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you can give something away and make it free for someone, but it's all going to take money. And so how do you provide value to someone in order to do the things that you want to spend the money on? And that I think that's so important is what kind of value do you provide to the rest of the world? And a lot of the times it's you provide value and you get some value back in the form of cash or good feelings or whichever you're most in need of. And
Wait,
so,
hold on a second. I'm going to take these
right.
off. Hold on. I'm going to get real now. Okay. Okay. So let's get real. Let's get real and down to business. So this book actually, I think everyone must read it. I think it should be in schools because I personally think religion should be in schools. And I don't, you know, first off, what is your thought about the Pledge of Allegiance?
I think people should be able to say it however they want, but um, this is absolutely the most free country in the world, or historically it has been. And pledging allegiance to being faithful to the flag that represents that freedom, I think, is important. And if you want to say under God, that's great with me. If you don't want to, um, maybe you'll find them through the course of your life, and just do what your conscience leads you to do, and say it how you want. But the flag, I think, represents something that's really great, and it
Amen.
provides people,
Amen.
right? And people have tremendous opportunity because of it, and it represents that freedom. And yeah, we haven't always been perfect, but I think people are quick to judge our history versus really understand it. And I think that's currently what's going on in a lot of instances is people get this impression of history without understanding it and without really reading it. And I guess one of my biggest annoyances growing up was we spent all these weeks early in the school year on the Mayans, the Incas, and the Aztecs, and didn't get to things that were maybe a little more modern and relevant. And so, as an adult, I've had to go try to learn and understand those things and learn about what the flag represents, what some of the things in the Constitution really meant, and the work that we've been doing to really live up to those first principles of all humans are created equal and created to with the right to life, liberty, and property, and the pursuit of happiness.
Amen. Yeah, I know in your book you had one subject, you had success poison, and then when you said there's countless ways to poison the path of success. What did you actually mean by that? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of stupid things that people can do on the way to desiring success. Another thing that I put in my model is the idea of responsible ambition. Right? There's irresponsible ambition that says, "Well, I'm going to trample on people and do whatever it takes to get the success and the reward, the financial benefit that I want, but not treat them fairly." And that's not a good long-term strategy. I mean, you may get a ways, and in the era of snake oil salesmen and others that were not as honest, yeah, you could sneak into a town, make a bunch of money, and sneak out. But in the modern era, it's tough to keep the falsehoods up and to get away with it. And so, the doing the right thing is good for business. And ultimately, if you're honest and above board and providing value and expecting value in return, that's kind of the right thing to do, and it works out well, I think, for everyone involved.
Well, I know in New Jersey it's a cutthroat business here, and it kills me. Like, I don't even know how I was placed in New Jersey. Don't get me wrong, I love New Jersey. I don't think I ever want to move out of New Jersey. Like, I love it that much. um I don't know why I love it, but I just do. But I'm saying, like, New Jersey is really a cutthroat business, and I'm honest. I'll tell you flat out if I like you, if I don't like you. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of getting hit. I'm not afraid of, getting knocked out for saying something. It's just, and I don't know if it's because I'm from New Jersey and I'm 100% Italian American, but I do know that the world is really corrupt, and the world is like, this book here is wholesome. This is a real book. It should be taught in schools. Like I'm thinking maybe you need to do like a whole curriculum on Mupo Entertainment. Like you could do a whole platform. Like, I'm not joking, because there's
Right.
kids. Like, I think you need to reach kids, because adults, we're already damaged, and it's hard for an adult to change. Me, like, I'll give you an example. So I struggled with I'm struggling with my weight because I have a thyroid problem, right? I'm an adult, although I like to not say that I was adult, but I mean, I'm an adult. And it's just, if you take the kids when they're young and mold them to do the right thing, I think the world would be a better place, because it's followed by example, people. If you don't want someone to get hurt or someone to get shot, then put the guns away. You know what I mean? It's killing me, all this violence and stuff. And I really feel that this book we need to do something. Like, we need to do something with this, because this is about reality.
Yeah.
It blew me away. I mean, I have to read it like literally 6 more times to get the gist of it, because I'm like that. Like, I did it with all Grant Cardone stuff. Like I read one of Grant's books, Sell or Be Sold, 23 times. I could probably read, you tell me the page, I'm like, not like I have OCD or anything, or like I'm Rain Man, but if you tell me a topic, I could probably pinpoint, boom, boom, boom. That book to me is my favorite book. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because he's been through struggles, and look at him, he's on top. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just I can't say. I think everybody needs to get this book. Where could they find this book?
So one easy way to find it is go to my website, pauljhuber.com, and it'll link you to Amazon, and there's some offers on there to help people get going. Uh, I talk a little bit about a Bible study that kind of sparked the book, and that's on there. I created, as I had mentioned to you, I created this momentum building model after our last conversation. So if you go to pauljhuber.com/MBM for Momentum Building Model, there's a place there you can sign up and get a copy of just the model, and we'll introduce you to the concepts of killing complacency and the things that you and I have been talking about tonight. Because I think people need to understand that there is opportunity out there. They can grow to be able to reap the benefit of that opportunity. The most important thing for them is to provide value to someone else. And I've been listening to a lot of Napoleon Hill's works lately, and he talks about providing value in excess of what they pay you, right? So provide something that's more valuable to the other person than what they're giving up to pay you in exchange for that. And then in the same way, if you go buy something that's more valuable to you than your money, and don't throw it away, but invest it, and look for good ways to invest it. Look for books to help you learn, or to change your mindset, and to develop the skills you need to be worthy of getting that abundance that's available. And to me, I think some of the violence is about people not understanding that abundance is available, and what they need to do to be able to take advantage of it. And another piece of it maybe is people wanting something for nothing, right? And thinking that they're entitled to something that they haven't earned. And so I think both of those pieces are important, of being worthy of what you want, and learning how to grow and to be able to get that abundance that's available.
Now, so you said it was pauljhuber.com, upward stroke, right? What else? MBM?
MBM.
Okay, I'm putting the link in right now. I put it right on the bottom. So Paul, hey Paul. So we got some people on here. Omen, we got Kim Lee. Kim Lee's very spiritual. Holly, Heather, Jolie. All right, so we got some people on here. So which is good. So this book right here, okay? when you open it up, go like this. Just go like this and look at the car, how it moves. So slip, because, you know, I'm like a kid. So, you know, I don't know if it was just me. Like, why didn't you guys tell me that this did that? Because I was freaking out. I was like, at first I was like, wow, this thing's moving. And for me to notice something like that, that's definitely my ADHD and my OCD combined. But this really is a book to get. And I got to tell you, so like with a paperback book, this is a really good copy because I can go like this and it doesn't even damage the binder. Like
Right.
it doesn't even, it's phenomenal. So you are going to be doing classes, right, on teaching kids? Because I see that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to be working on programs. The first thing that I need to do is get a few more copies of the book out there, get more momentum, get more people reading it, and build up my email list a little bit. So if you sign up for the momentum building model or the one-page Bible study that I've got, those are all things that will help me tell you about the next thing that I'm doing. And this is absolutely part of it. The video you and I are doing now, I'm going to share that with people so that they can get a jump start on the book and really see what's in there.
Different. I had to do it a little different. I had to go off the structure
Right.
because it was just, you know what? I needed people to see the real you. You know what I'm saying? And you are, I mean, you're not like everybody else. You could see that. Like you have the white light of the Holy Spirit around you all the time. You could definitely see that. You know what I mean? Nobody better mess with him because I got your back. Jersey has your back. No, no, but it's true.
Oh.
Like you're very peaceful. You're just so, and you know what's funny? You're witty. Like in Carolyn's in Oxygen Publishing, Carolyn, you know, you're sitting there and then you'll be like, and yeah, I was just on a interview with Mupo and Mupo Entertainment. Like it's just the way you do it. It's hilarious. I love it.
Right. Well, not everyone appreciates it, so I'm glad that you do. And
I do. I think you got something. I really do. Or I wouldn't even, you know what I mean? You definitely have something. And I think I physically, or I should say mentally, see you going on the Mupo tour with us and protecting us because, you know, all the girls, we're going to get in trouble. You know that. We're going to do something, whether we have shopping sprees. I'm going to go to, I don't know, I'll probably go to like music stores. But
do they still have those?
They have to in Nashville, right? I mean, Nashville has to have a music store. I mean, you know, it's funny. There are no music stores around here. Like there used to be the Wiz. There used to be like, I can't remember the name. I
remember Sam Goody.
Sam Goody. That was it. We used to get all the cassette tapes. So now we're showing our age. That's what we're doing.
Right. I can't, I won't confess to using cassette tapes, but CDs for sure.
I even used the 8-track. I had Kiss. I had the 8-track, popped that in, and I was just like, you know, I was into everything. But whatever my brother had, that's what I got to listen to. You know what I mean? But I really liked the Partridge Family growing up because they were peaceful. Maybe that's why I like this book. This book.
Right.
Okay, guys, this is the book to get. So go to his website. I just wanted to bring him on just so that people got to know him a little bit and know that he's the real deal. And I am recommending that you get this book. And when you get the book, email him and let them know that you saw it on here. And I can't, you know, I miss Holly because she usually goes, Hollywood's does her thing, like ending the thing. I don't even know how to end it now. You know?
Well, maybe you just can't. We'll just have to keep going. Well, and usually Heather's in the corner just smiling and having a good time. And
HR, yeah.
Right.
She's so funny.
But
she's on here.
Yeah.
I wonder if we
I saw her. I saw her pop up in the comments.
Heather, get in the Zoom. You know the Zoom. Get in. Ace is on here too. You know what? So everyone who's a part of Mupo Entertainment that wants to come in, we're gonna give you 5 minutes. We're gonna give you 2 minutes to hop on. and just tell a little bit about Paul. Like, I know Holly's sick. Everybody keep Holly in your prayers because she's not feeling well. Um,
Yeah,
so
and while we're waiting those 2 minutes, I'll just tell you that, I didn't. The whole purpose of the book isn't just spiritual, right? I mean, yeah, there's a strong spiritual component, but so much of, I guess, American society and culture kind of revolves around some myths that people have heard about what it means to be a good Christian, or what the Bible says, right? And they say, well, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Well, that's not exactly what's in there, and it's a bad paraphrase of a decent sentiment. And the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. There are all kinds of terrible things that people do with irresponsible ambition, as I talked about earlier. All kinds of bad things that people do trying to seek money, but money in and of itself is not evil. And people need to learn that and get past that, so that they can love having the money that they need to support their family, to support others, to give away, and to really make a difference. And it's really hard to make a difference if you don't have money. And ending that fear or dislike of money is really one of the first steps of moving past that. And as you and I have followed Grant Cardone a little bit, you see that in a lot of his teaching. Is he talks about all the different things that all the myths that people and misconceptions that people have about money, and it's moving past that. I think that's why so many people like Grant have figured it out. They've learned, well, money, it's not a bad thing in and of itself, and having money is not bad, and there's lots of great things that you can do with it. And so I guess at least half the reason that there's so much scripture in the book and so much discussion of what's in the Bible is overcoming what we've been acculturated into believing about what the Bible says about money, and what's right and wrong with respect to money. So
I love money. I'm going to tell you flat out. I love it. And I'm going to say it comes easy to me. I'm looking up, please, God, come easy. I do know, but you need money to really, to do what you have to do. And I'm going to need to make a ton of money so that I could buy these buildings and put all my homeless veterans in it. So I just, and I pray every day. I'm like, cause it kills me to see people struggle. And,
right.
even though with this whole COVID thing, it's like, I noticed, I mean, even I'm going through something, and you know what? I try not to let it get to me, because there's always tomorrow. So tomorrow you could always correct what you messed up today. And I tell people that, it's like you create your own destiny, and you have the ability to choose your path with God. You have the ability to choose the right path, or to go off path, or to go stray completely away. But the bottom line is, it's your choice. And if you don't make the right choice, and if you're not with the right people pushing you and motivating you, sometimes it's hard for them to follow through. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
so all those parents out there who say, oh, you can't be this or you can't do that, please don't do that. Because, I'm in a situation where, hey, you know how many people told me I couldn't do things? My family, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. See, with me, because I'm not normal. So my no means yes. Even in high school, you have to carry books. No, I don't. I never carried books. Did anyone in high school see me carry books? I carried a guitar. Did anyone see me do homework? And I'm not saying no one do homework. I'm a listener. I'm an audio. I'm not one to write things down. Like, even writing this book with Carolyn, I'm writing it, but I'm speaking into the dictation part of it.
Right.
I just know that there's kids out there, and I know that kids listen to this, and I guess they don't want to get on the Zoom, because nobody cares if you have no makeup. Nobody cares. But the thing is that kids today, they're our future, and if we don't mold them the right way and teach them the right path, we're going to have a lot of disruption.
Right.
and the other thing that I feel is that, you know, I happen to think people need to wake up. Wake up about politics, wake up about life, treat one another with respect, and with this whole COVID thing, wash your hands, be careful, because it's only going to get worse.
Right.
So, but I guess
Yeah. And
getting on. Go ahead, say your thing. Go
all
ahead.
right. I totally agree. There's so many people out there that I want to help with this book, and so many, I guess, influencers I follow say, well, start out by niche down to the smallest group that you can find, and build up from there. And I know it's not helpful to try to boil the ocean and do things like that, but I've been reaching out to people that I think are aligned with me, and I know you are, and I know that you've enjoyed the book. I've got an interview tomorrow with someone in Africa, and I'm looking forward to that. It's at noon Central Time, but
Oh
8
my,
p.m. East Africa time, and
that's cool.
right, and really that was my prayer early on, is we've got it pretty well in America, and even our poorest people are doing a lot better than people in Africa and other countries. And I think the message, yeah, it can help Americans, and it should also help people in Africa and Saudi Arabia and South America, just all over the world, because I think that people need to see how to have that responsible ambition, how to have a growth mindset, to know that they can get better, and those bad days are really just training for getting good, and that the abundance is available. And I see so many people saying, well, there's a limited amount of money, and we've seen governments more than willing to print more money, right? There's so much money flowing out of government, that it could become unstable eventually, but they're printing so much. Just get your piece by providing value to others, and being able to do that in a way that's I guess the phrase I hear a lot is rare and valuable. Have skills that are rare and valuable.
I'm going to
So,
stop you for just a second, because I have to
all right.
we're on the money thing, and then you're going to get back to that. I just want everyone to know that the dollar is a fiat currency, because Richard Nixon took the gold standard off the dollar bill in 1972. Okay, we need to bring gold back. Gold holds its value. Now, think about it. Jesus bought his toga that he was wearing with 2 gold coins. Now, if you take 2 gold coins today, obviously it's probably about $2,000, right? A nice Armani suit is $2,000. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Gold holds its value. Okay. Money, as far as them reprinting money, and I have to say this because it's on my heart. This is what kills me about America. Okay. People don't realize, we have the ability to do everything here in the United States. We do. We're lazy. I'm going to be the first. I'm lazy. I'm late. Well, not really when it comes to, making money, but I get lazy sometimes, and because I'm human. And there's only one, you're not God. You're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
we're a part of God. So he's within us, and I feel that we have the ability to be all that we can be. We just have to put our minds to it, focus, love one another, keep the peace, no pun intended. But with this whole thing is like, if we keep reprinting money, just like you're saying, right? And we take the money and then they shred the money. Think about this, because China has a gold-backed currency now called the yuan. The yuan, now we borrowed when President Obama was in office, we borrowed a lot of money from China. Now, I don't know if we're paying China back. I don't really know about that. I have to do a little research on that. But the bottom line is, China has the gold coin now, and they are slowly starting to have other countries use their gold-backed currency. Okay. Why are they doing that? Because they want to put the dollar bill completely out of existence. Now think about it. That dollar bill is what we use for currency. Even though it's not backed by gold, other countries are using our currency for trade. People, you need to get wise on this. Okay, you really do need to get wise on this. We need to start this whole thing that COVID, I think, happened from God. Personally, I think it was a blessing in some sense because it's bringing back God into your lives. Not only that, I feel like it's bringing the family unit back together because obviously we're all quarantined and we couldn't do anything. But my thing is this is like, if people don't understand that we can do it ourselves, you can change your mind and you can go from bad to good. You just have to believe in yourself. You just have to move forward and don't quit. This book right here is the ticket to getting on the right path. I'm telling you, it is. And I'm a fan of it. So I think you have something, and what you were saying about the currency, you can go. I just had to put that 2 cents in because people don't know. They don't realize that we're killing ourselves by buying stuff from other countries. We need to support our country. And then when we become wealthy, then we give to others. It's just like Kim Lee says, you have to love yourself before you can love others. Like she teaches.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, they talk about loving your neighbors. You love yourself. Well, start by loving yourself. Right. And understand how to do that correctly. And take care of yourself, you know, put your oxygen mask on before assisting others.
I'm going to work out. I'm going to start working out. I'm thinking that maybe I should just start getting healthy again. I started to eat healthy, but I'm going to start to work out. As disabled as I am, I'm going to try to block that. But I don't know. I thank you for coming on because I enjoy talking to you. We got to do this.
Yeah, it's always a good time, and I really want to get the message out to people, encourage them to get the things that I have on my website to help give them an idea of what's in the book, and not just as a teaser, but as a starting point, right? And help them understand that, you know, I believe in them. I know that there are plenty of other people that believe in them, and the important thing is taking those first steps, setting a direction, and doing the work that's necessary, the deliberate practice to be worthy of the abundance that's available.
Yeah, definitely. So I was looking to see if anyone was asking questions, and you know what? It's so small, I can't even read it. So you're going to have to go back, and if there are any questions, it's so small. Listen, I'm 52. I'm going to be 53 in September, and I'm wearing glasses on top of glasses now, and because I can't get a doctor's appointment.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know I need stronger lenses or something, but those like 1.50 little reading glasses, I put them right on top of here and I'm at the computer. Everyone's making fun of me. And I'm like, it's working. And you know what? Because every time I go, these glasses are not cheap. The lenses are not cheap. And I'm like, I'm going to go back to contacts. I don't care if my eyes dry out. I'm just tired of it. But it's pretty comical. Again, thank you for coming on. We're going to push your book. Make sure that we'll have to set up some time. I would say possibly in a couple weeks. Because I really think you might have something. Like, we should display you as talent and try to get you gigs. But I mean, I think you should start doing a program. And I think kids.
Well, so I got a fancy microphone, a ring light, a camera, all that good stuff. So I have the equipment for a program.
Awesome.
The big thing is the time and doing an outline of it.
So when you're done with the outline, we'll set up a meeting, and we will help you, because I really feel that it starts one by one. It's not something that you can change. It's like someone says, "Oh, Michelle, with your Keep the Peace project, what are you looking to accomplish?" And I'm like, if I could save one person, then that's good for me. I got someone a seeing eye dog. So I got like a couple people but I mean, they're pretty expensive, those dogs, because then they train them, they're trained on Ikanuba, and then the veterans can't really afford the Ikanuba. So then I had to do a thing to try to get people to buy the Ikanuba. I have somebody actually buying the Ikanuba for the veteran because they, they just couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? But it's like one little person at a time. And if it's something that I'm blessed. See, like God put you in my path for a reason. And I really believe that. So maybe it's to stop with my mouth because I got a potty mouth. But otherwise, not if it wasn't for my mouth, I'd probably be a really, really nerdy type of cool, collective person.
Well, you should see the modern nerds. We have a lot of millennials, and they, they'd make a sailor blush. Well, you know what, Michelle, I'm actually working on setting up a beta for my program, and I could probably take a few people in. It starts.
Come on, who's coming in? Let's see. Everyone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna share this with everyone. I'm gonna share it on every single page because you have a story to tell and you need to get it out there. And let's thank Carolyn from Oxygen Publishing. I just have to thank her because none of this really would have happened. I probably would have never spoken to you if it wasn't for her.
Yeah, well, I never intended to get a publisher. I'm like, I have a manuscript done. I'm ready to hit print and upload it to Kindle. And next thing I know, I'm hiring Carolyn and her team to help me through the process. And it's
amazing.
The book looks so much better than what it would have otherwise. And yeah, so, and it was really a light edit and a light update, but
see,
yeah,
you're blessed. See, things happen for a reason.
Yep, for sure. And so, like I was saying, August 7th is when I'm starting my beta for the program.
Okay, so we need to help you for August 7th. We need to get people to join.
Right. And so what I've been doing is I've been leading a Friday morning group, 6:30 every Friday morning and Central Time. So, I mean, that'll be kind of late for you, 7:30 Eastern. So,
it is
probably still early in Mupo's land, but yeah, it's 6:30 Central, and every Friday morning, I'm gonna have it going for 8 weeks. I have an outline across the room from me, not at my desk, but I have an outline. I've got a pretty good idea of what I want to do, and I just need some people that beta test it and willing to jump on with me. So.
And it's 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah. Usually it's a bunch of guys from Cedar Rapids. Lately it's been just a couple of us, or 3 of us. So looking to expand that. And
all right. Well, I'll find you some guys because I don't know if I can get up at 6:30, but if you record it, I'll watch it for sure.
Right. Well, the recordings might cost people money. But.
Well, that's what it is. Everything's a price.
Right, for sure. And we'll do the beta testing. We'll do the first pass at it. If the videos turn out great, I'll package them up and sell them. If I need to do another run at it, I'll start charging, but a little bit for the second test. So, but yeah, I think I'm really close to getting the program together and launching it. I don't have a sign up form yet. It takes like half an hour to do the form and the web page and all of that. So I can get that done pretty soon here and get that to you. So
awesome. But thank you for that. And thank you for doing this live. It's been a pleasure. I'm not going to do Holly's tag because only Holly can do the tag. I cannot do it like that. You know what I mean?
Well, and I really hope Holly gets better. I've had a little bit of trouble with my eyes, and I know she's had a lot. So hope it all gets better and she gets back to normal, because
she'll be back.
We've missed her.
Better than ever.
Right.
She's protected by the white light of the Holy Spirit and Christ consciousness. Trust me. All right. Peace out, everyone.
All right. Great.
Tune in.
Good talking to Michelle, and see you later.
Okay. I stopped the live stream.